Aloha and shalom. Shabbat shalom. It is still Shabbat currently where I am in Sedona, Arizona. And Shabbat is the celebration of the unification of the worlds within and without. It starts Friday night at sundown and it finishes Saturday night, sundown. And it's just a time to unify the many into the one and celebrate that wholeness, that unity, that peace when all is one. So, Shabbat Shalom. We're at the final quarter moon today, which means that from this point until next week, when the new moon occurs, we will be integrating everything that we have learned during this lunar cycle. So we are at the end of our cycle now, and it's time to do the final integration and then the preparation for the new moon, creating a space for the newness to be born. So this, the final quarter, is what I like to call the in-between stage. Aloha, aloha. So how can we best tie up this lunar cycle and prepare for the new one? So while I'm shuffling and while everyone's tuning in, go ahead and let go of whatever thoughts have been repeating in your head. Whatever feelings, emotions you've been holding on to today, just find a place of neutrality. Set everything aside, creating a space for the answers to come in. Because if we're so busy repeating the same things over and over in our heads, or feeling the same things that we've been feeling, unable to let go of those feelings, we won't have the space to receive new feelings, new information, new thoughts, which lead to revelation, growth, change, which is needed. So go ahead and set it all aside. Just for this moment, for this activation, just set it aside. And when you're ready, I'll find you in that space, that place of spaciousness outside of time and space. It's the heart space. Timeless space of the heart. That's where we're meeting right here, right now. So thank you in advance, archetypes, faces of the one, for bringing us the wisdom that we seek right now to move ahead as individuals and as a collective, unified unit in the most efficient way possible, with the most grace, with the most ease, and without crisis. What is the most efficient path that we can take right now to move ahead? So some things that I think we are wanting to know are: what are we finally ready to leave behind this cycle? Something that we're finally tying up and closing up and setting aside. What is the current challenge, which will also be the gift to unlock the door to the future that will bring to us all that comes with the new moon? And who is our ally as we move through this challenge? All right, we begin. Ooh, Ace of Cups. So we start off with an ace, and aces are initiations, and cups is the suit of the heart, water, emotions. This is the card of unconditional love, an overflowing cup, an overflowing heart. So this is something we've been working on this past cycle, and it's something that we're finally never closing up, because all these archetypes live inside of us, and there's always a time and a place for them to have their place in the spotlight. but it looks like we're going to be focusing our energies elsewhere. So maybe it's been, maybe you can resonate with this. Maybe this has been something you've been feeling this whole past cycle where, it's time for me to just really offer my kindness, offer my love in places where I struggled before to do so. It's been a theme where we've felt the importance of being kind and of living from our hearts and staying in that place of compassion. And I'm not saying we're ever moving out of that space, because that's so important. But perhaps we're going to, just for an example, perhaps we're moving more into a time where we're going to have to be going inward, giving to ourselves, being more discerning of other people, not worrying so much about being that overflowing cup for others. But we'll see. That's just an example. So this has been the highlight of this past lunar cycle, but we are ending this cycle and we're moving into a new one. So relationships could have been highlighted, new romances, deepening already existing relationships. And if you think about it, we just passed Valentine's Day, right? Yesterday was Valentine's Day. So there's a lot of that collective loving energy in the air. So this makes sense. This is what was the highlight of this past month. Everybody was looking forward to this experience. Even those who say, oh, I hate Valentine's Day. Perhaps there was some subconscious place in there, inside of them, that felt they were waiting for this day, this time, to experience at least some bit of that collective loving energy that happens. Whether or not you believe in this holiday, you like it, or whatever, you have to face the facts that collectively there is a lot of lovey-dovey energy in the air, just because why not celebrate love? Yes, Valentine's Day is every day, love is every day, but why not have an excuse to just have fun and highlight that theme of unconditional love, right? So anyways, that's what this month has been about. Everybody was kind of looking forward to that, feeling that in some part of them, tapped into the collective and knowing this was coming. And now it's over. Valentine's Day is over. But yes, this is every day. Love is every day. So a challenge that's going to bring us into the future, and we have a major arcanum card, the Star. So far we have an Ace and a major arcanum. The major arcanum are the most powerful cards of the deck. And aces are obviously very powerful as well. They're initiations. So far this reading is boom. So this is the challenge that is going to be presenting itself to us left and right through all of our surrounding situations. It's also something that's welling up inside of us, offering us opportunities for self-reflection, which ultimately leads to growth. So the challenge leads to growth, inwardly and outwardly. It's the thing that will provide the bridge to the future as we succeed and move through the challenge again and again, just acing it left and right, making the most of it. Each time we ace this challenge as it is presented to us through this situation or that, we take another step across that bridge to the future. And so the Star card, this major arcanum card, is all about getting in touch with your innermost self. It's about finding your center and making sure that you move ahead from a place of authenticity and a place that's honoring who you really are. So before we can move ahead, before we can step into the future, we are being asked this week to really take the opportunity to tune in to our center, to tune into who we really are, to find some alone time maybe. Go to your favorite place, maybe a place in nature, maybe be around water. Whatever can help you to self-reflect upon your most authentic self is key. So that way, when we come back out into reality, a world of many illusions, contradictions, we'll know what is resonant for us. We'll know what path to take for our own highest good in a way that supports the highest good of the one. Because if we don't include ourselves in that one, in the oneness of all of life, if we don't take care of ourselves, then we really can't do anything for anyone else. So it's important at this time to really tune into our center and be solid in our own self-image, so that when that new moon comes with its new challenges and with its new lessons and with its new opportunities, we will know which ones to say yes to and which ones to say no thank you. We'll have a clear vision, maybe not exactly of what we want or what we want to do, but of who we are, which is everything. Because as long as we know solidly who we are, the opportunities that resonate with that, the opportunities that are aligned with that will present themselves. So we don't always need to worry about what we want to do or, all of the details of the path we want to take. As long as we don't miss out on this important step first of getting in touch with our truest self, we'll be good to go. Because whatever situation we approach from that place of wholeness will be one that, again, is fully aligned with our highest path in reflection of the truth of who we really are. That empowerment and that self-confidence is everything. It's everything. Because at that point, if you skip this step and you think you know where you're going or what you want to do or who you want to be, it won't be as sustainable a path as it would have been if you had stopped and taken that time to really clearly self-reflect and be honest with yourself about who you really are inside. If you don't do that, if you don't honor yourself first, the path will be way more bumpy. There will be more crisis. There will be more pain. But if you can be in touch with your heart of hearts and your truest self, everything else is much easier. Life can be a lot lighter. And it's not because the challenges won't come, it's because of the awareness that we're bringing to each of those challenges and to each of those experiences. It makes all of the difference. Life will always have its challenges. But if we show up prepared, confident in who we are and in our creative abilities, full of self-love, looking like this, we've already done this work. If we show up with that full heart, knowing who we really are, the challenges are a lot easier because our perception of reality is clear. We know what is coming, or when we face it, we know what it is because we are clear in our subconscious. When we're clear on the inside, we're more accepting of what's on the outside. And that's what we need in life to move ahead with the most grace and ease, is acceptance, not resistance to what is, because that's absurd, because whatever is, we're finding ourselves there for a reason. So we'll always face these challenges and all kinds of experiences in life, but doing this first, meeting ourselves in our heart of hearts, fully aware of our highest truth, the highest truth of who we are, then life is much more manageable, much easier to accept. And as we go through this time of connecting with our innermost self, taking some time alone, solitude, building that self-confidence, as we do that, our ally is 5 of Wands. Wands is fire. It's the suit of spirit, fire. And it's all about action. This is keyword competition. So immediately what I saw is this. We must know why we're doing this. Whenever we have a strong intention, it gives us the motivation to do whatever it is we need to do with our fullest presence. So why are we going into this place of meditation, in this place of self-reflection? What are we really preparing for? It would help to know, right? And this is showing me that what we're preparing for is the reemergence into reality, right? When the time of the new moon comes next week, we're preparing to emerge into a world where we're going to be sharing our ideas more than usual. and we're going to be receiving the ideas of others, or at least we should be open to receiving the ideas of others. It doesn't mean that we need to fully accept the others' ideas. It just means that we should be open and equally receptive to hearing their ideas as we are willing to share ours. So it's important to come right now fully into this place of self-reflection so that we can be strong in who we are, what our truth is, what we believe in, what we know to be right. So that way when we put ourselves out there in the world around others, we are in a safe position to receive the ideas of others, the beliefs of others, without moving us from our center. We'll be able to be receptive and not stubborn. So perhaps we'll be able to add on to our already existing beliefs or to deepen them in some way, to nurture that inner fire, our inner spirit, and the values of our spirit, right? We'll be able to do that because we'll be receptive to the ideas of others. We don't want to come into this place of who we are and our beliefs and be so stubborn and stuck in it that when we emerge and we come across the paths of others, we don't even want to hear them because we just already know who we are. No, we want to know solidly who we are so that when we inevitably go out into the world and interact with others, it's inevitable, we live in a world with other people, then we'll be solid enough in our own knowing, in our own beliefs about who we are and what our reality is, that we're willing to be open to the ideas of others to just see how they may be harmonious with our beliefs, may deepen our already existing beliefs. We don't have anything to fear if we're very much in touch with our center. Then what do we have to fear in going out there into this world of competition? We have nothing to lose. We also will be able to share better when we do this work first and get in touch with our center, because we'll have more of a sense of individuality and uniqueness to be able to share with the world. We'll say, yeah, sure, I'm willing to hear about your path and what your beliefs are, and I'm also confident enough to share mine. If you look at this card, you see nobody's actually hurt. It's like they're all hitting each other with these sticks, but no one's actually hurt. And it's because it's about rubbing our ideas off on each other. Rubbing the sticks makes fire, right? Rubbing makes more heat, makes light, expansion. So competition, a healthy sense of competition, is necessary for our evolution, for our growth, for our expansion. If we're really putting ourselves out there with the intention of growing and not hurting anyone, then it's a perfectly safe way to share our ideas, to express ourselves, and to also receive the ideas and expressions of others. As long as we're all putting ourselves out there, and this is a collective reading, so I just want to right now take the time to affirm that this is what we're going to do. We're going to prepare ourselves right now, get in touch with who we each are individually and uniquely, solidify our knowing, our truths of our heart, and then collectively we're going to come back into this world and meet in a space of understanding and caring and compassion, because we already developed that. We already have that, right? That was our foundation. But now it's going to be time to share and get a little fiery. Speak our minds, speak our truth, and receive the truth of others. Never intending to actually hurt each other or beat each other down. That's not why we're doing this. It's a healthy competition. Seeing how far we can push each other's beliefs to expand our minds, to expand our consciousness in a way that's for the highest good of one and all. We already have this foundation. This was the first card that came up for this past cycle. We've already laid the foundation of compassion, understanding, and unconditional love. Now that we've done that, we are all coming to our center, reflecting upon our highest version of ourselves, knowing who we are, and from that empowered state, meeting each other in the world of competition with the highest intention to simply grow, to expand, to share. Because we can sit forever alone, knowing what we know inside and just play it safe, but we'll never grow. One way or another, we need to share with the world. Perhaps when we share and we get the words out, we hear ourselves, we observe ourselves in a whole new light, and then that very thing that we shared transforms and we add on to that belief or that truth that we shared. That alone, just hearing ourselves express our beliefs or our truth to another, can be incredibly transformative. And then receiving the words of others in a way where you share something, that person responds, and perhaps you see the very thing you said in a whole new light. Or perhaps they add on to what you said, sharing something that you've never even heard before. The point is, we need to put ourselves out there to grow. And as long as we are solid in who we are, what do we have to fear? We have to share, and we must be willing to open up to hear the sharings of others. Just as we would want to be supported in that process of sharing, it is our duty to hold space for others to share. To not be so ignorant and stubborn and not want to hear the ideas of others. It's literally limiting our ability to expand as one consciousness. So it's important that we all share and do our part in holding the space for others to do the same. I feel complete with these 3 cards. It feels simple, but there's enough information there for us to move ahead. I'm just going to summarize quickly here. We've laid the foundation of unconditional love. And now we're getting in touch with our center, strengthening our core, locking in our image of who we really are in confidence, empowering ourselves and preparing ourselves to meet in a place of healthy competition with the highest intention to simply grow, to share. Happy final quarter moon, you guys. I'm really excited about next week's new moon. It feels like it's going to be some really fresh energy, a true new start. I'm really wondering what's going to come of this sharing, how we're going to expand, how perhaps the ideas or projects we've been working on this past month or maybe for months, maybe they haven't taken off in the way we wanted to. But I do feel that with the new moon coming, it's going to be a time for us to grow in ways that we've been waiting for our projects and our hobbies to all find some new inspiration and move ahead in ways that, like I said, we just didn't see coming. So I'm excited for the new moon, and I'll see you guys for that activation. Aloha. Peace.